All right, let's dive in. We're about to tackle one of the most important and, let's be honest, kind of scary documents you'll ever sign, the Texas real estate contract. My goal here is to pull back the curtain on the key parts so you know exactly what you're signing. You know that feeling? You found the perfect house, you're excited, and then someone hands you a stack of papers that looks like a novel written in another language. It's a huge moment, and the pressure is definitely on. But here's the thing you need to know. That contract isn't just a list of rules from the seller. It's packed with clauses designed to protect you, the buyer. And today, we're going to find every single one of them and figure out how to use them to your advantage. Okay, so you're ready to make your move. This is where the rubber meets the road and you put some money down. Let's talk about the first two financial commitments you're going to make. First up is what's called earnest money. You can think of this as your I'm serious deposit. It shows the seller you're not just kicking tires. Usually it's about 1% of the sales price. And this is important, it's held by a neutral third party, like a title company, not the seller themselves. And then there's the option fee. This is a totally separate, smaller payment that goes directly to the seller. So what are you buying? You're literally buying time. It pays for something called an option period, which is your golden ticket to walk away from the deal for any reason at all. It's your get-out-of-jail-free card. And now people get these two mixed up all the time, so let's make it super clear. Earnest money is your big, serious deposit that you get back if you use your escape hatch. The option fee is the non-refundable price you pay for that escape hatch. One goes into safekeeping, the other goes right into the seller's pocket for taking their house off the market for you. You're going to see this phrase in the contract, time is of the essence. And trust me, this isn't just some fancy lawyer speak. It means the deadlines we're about to talk about are dead serious. They are set in stone. And here's the first big one. The second that contract becomes official, what they call the effective date, a 3-day countdown begins. You have exactly 3 days to get both your earnest money and your option fee to the right people. If you miss that deadline, the seller can just say, nope, deal's off, and walk away. So, you paid that option fee, the clock is ticking. What now? Well, now you use that time you just bought to do your homework. This phase is all about due diligence, and it is maybe the most important part of the whole process. Now, while you're doing your homework, you're going to run into this line in the contract. Buyer is purchasing the property as is. And for a lot of people, that's when the panic sets in. It sounds like you're stuck with the house, warts and all, right? I mean, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Does as is mean you just have to accept whatever problems the inspector finds? You can't even try to negotiate? No, absolutely not. As is just refers to the condition of the house when you made the offer. Your option period is your superpower. This is your chance to get inspectors in there to find out what's really going on. And once you have that inspection report, you have all the power. You can ask for repairs, you can ask for a credit, or you can just say, you know what, never mind, and walk away getting your earnest money back. Okay, so you've checked out the physical house, but what about its legal history? You got to make sure that the person selling you the house actually has the right to sell it. It's time to run the property's official background check. And that's where something called a title policy comes in. Basically, it's an insurance policy. It protects you from some long-lost relative or a forgotten lien holder showing up down the road and claiming they have a stake in your new home. It makes sure the title is clean. But, just like any other insurance policy, you've got to read the fine print. And in the world of title policies, that fine print is called exceptions. These are the specific things the policy will not protect you against. And you'll see some common ones. Restrictive covenants, for example, could be HOA rules that say you can't paint your door purple or park a boat in your driveway. Utility easements mean the power company has the right to come into your backyard to work on their lines. You just need to know what you're agreeing to. Luckily, there's a whole process for this laid out in the contract. Within 20 days, you'll get what's called the title commitment. That's the background report. You get a chance to review it and raise a red flag about anything that looks weird. If you find a legitimate issue, the seller then has time to fix it before you get to the closing table. So we've covered all the things you need to find out, but what is the seller legally obligated to tell you? That brings us to the really important topic of disclosures. In Texas, sellers have to provide you with a form called the Seller's Disclosure Notice. Now, this is not a guarantee or a warranty. It's simply the seller telling you to the best of their knowledge what's going on with the house. And this form gets into the nitty-gritty. It asks about the foundation, the roof, the plumbing. It even asks about past issues like flooding or termite damage. You should read this document like a detective. It's full of clues that can help guide your own inspections. Okay, I want you to look at this date, just this one number, because this year triggers a very specific, very important federal law. That's the one. If a home was built before 1978, there's a good chance it has lead-based paint somewhere inside it. Because of the health risks, federal law steps in and says the seller must give you a special disclosure about it. No exceptions. So, let's wrap this all up. Here's what you really need to remember. Those first deadlines for your money, they're no joke. That as-is clause, don't let it scare you. Your option period is your real power. You need to read every word of that title commitment and treat that seller's disclosure like a treasure map to potential problems. See, once you know the rules, it's not so intimidating. You know where your power comes from in this contract. So the only question left is, when that option period clock starts ticking, what's your first move going to be?